coming from the Ministry of Labour or even the Office of the Prime Minister, if it is that there is a discussion somewhere happening that looks at how are we looking at innovative ways of treating with the world of work to create, gender parity or an equitable environment in the world of work overall. I think it would be useful for somebody to come in to say if that's a discussion, because I think if our discussion is centered simply around the statistics in terms of remuneration and whatnot, and not how do we get to an equitable environment, what are the things we're looking at, what is driving our policy decisions, what is driving our thinking overall, I think we won't actually see the results we're hoping for. When we're discussing parity in the workplace, we're talking more of equity than equality and straight equality. And if we're looking at a question, I think Ministry of Labour raised it in certain instances where you look at the entry into the workforce and then you see the top levels being male dominant at this point in time. And I understand Ministry of Labour would have done some studies, but if we're looking at the data that we have, and considering that the public service is, a large employer, you have a real opportunity to lead the way in terms of how are we looking at our working spaces? Are we looking at discussions in terms of work schedules to allow for things like work from home opportunities and whatnot? That may then, while it may not be a gender consideration, but if you allow for the discussion to take part in terms of equitable access, you will widen the space for discussion. So that's why I asked to what extent is gender consideration or the unique needs of the particular genders in terms of beyond maternity leave, in terms of childcare, and how are we creating a future world of work that considers that half of the workforce have this opportunity or space where you may be out of the workspace for different reasons, but we can still create an equitable and enabling environment, as the public service.